I'm doing a pretty good job at making a mess, but we're getting somewhere. I just like to put a little bit of water on a paper towel. I don't submerge the decals, and then I just put them on top, and they wick out really good. Just my way of doing it. You'll notice I have both here. Actually, you could just buy the microsol if you're careful with it and just use that because it helps the decals stick. But basically, just a little stronger. What it does is it kind of settles the decal and conforms it to the mold lines and stuff. So like they say, like the painted on look. So if you're going to go over some curves like that, or right here on this trim or inside door lines, the microsol there, you put that on first. That's what I do with a Q-tip, and then put that on. Just for regular flat surfaces like this, you can just use microset, and it just helps the decal stick better. But you know, there's all sorts of arguments about it online. I just that's basically the definition that the company's going to give you. Most times, however, I just microsol does the job. It helps the decal stick just as good as microset, at least in my opinion.
Okay, after the decals have dried, I let it dry for about 2 hours, put it in the dehydrator, but that's really the key, is making sure the decals are 100% dry before you start messing with any clear coat, at least in my experience. Now, what I've done is I used some Rust-Oleum, this Ultra Cover Gloss Clear, and I did 3 coats, very light, 15 minutes apart, and I put it in the oven over there in the dehydrator and just let it bake on. When that was finished, I took some 2000 grit and I wet sanded it really good all the way around, and then I wanted to add a little aging effect to the car a little bit. So this quick shine, it's kind of like Future, just a little bit cloudier, so to speak, but it still goes on pretty clear. But I can get this at the Dollar Tree, whereas, well, Future's all gone. So take a little bit of that, and you can use the acrylic paints, and you can mix it with the floor shine there, and you can mix a color and put it on. So after I wet sanded it, I just brushed on a coat, very, very light coat. And then when that was finished, I just took some McGuire's polish, hand polish, and just polished it up. I didn't want it too much, but I think it kind of gave that little aging in the sun effect, and the sides are maybe just a little bit brighter. But it's an old race car, right? So even when it was brand new, wasn't that shiny. Anyhow, now I get the glass and the interior in. Oh, as you can see, I put the roll bar in here. I glued it to the roof in there. It's just sturdier that way instead of trying to glue to the plastic. But basically, get the glass in place, get it on the chassis. Okay, it's taken me a while. No excuses. Real life getting in the way. You know how that goes. Anyhow, the chassis is finished. I gave it a coat of duplicolor lacquer. I just kind of like that gunmetal look to it. That's just me. Some folks like to polish it up. Good enough for me. I'm not trying to win any awards. But there you have it. I used the CB Design wheels, the classic steel wheels here, and the 0690s, and then the PG 2812.5s all the way around. I did 3/32 bore. I used the JK guide, as we discussed early on. Got the Predator motor in there, and 9 to 28 gearing. So it's a pretty nice chassis. It's just very simple. Just your standard piano wire, your rectangular brass tubing, all of it covered early on in the playlist. So just go back and check those out. Now it's time to get the body on, and we'll give it a test run. Give it a nice run here. Oh yeah, smooth enough. Not bad for a big old boat like this. It needs a Mercury outboard on it, don't it? You gotta love these old cars. Took a long time. Woo. But I'm happy. Lots of fun building your own slot car. You guys can do it. You need to join me. Well, there you have it. It took me almost a year, almost to the day, and not really any excuses, just real life sometimes gets in the way. I know you know how that feels, but it's just been sitting there being pushed aside, and it had to get done. And I'm pretty happy with the results. It's just fun, like I said, to build your own slot car. And this chassis right here, this will work for the land barge, beach racers, you name it, a variety of 124th, 125th. Just build your own. Just very, very simplistic. This is not an advanced chassis. Okay, this is about as simple as it gets, and it works. It's just a lot of fun here on the home track. So, anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this series. I know it's kind of a long series, but I tried to cover as much of it as I could for those just starting out trying to build and joining in our showdowns. So, hope you all got something out of it, and as always, I look forward to your feedback, and we'll see you online.